What's up, my noobs? Netflix is back at it again. More adaptations are coming out, and I just have my thoughts on them, and I want to talk to you about them. So come along with me. I'm the noob. Let's talk about this. Now, the first thing you got to realize is I have been joined with Netflix since Blockbuster was around. I know, and a lot of you don't even know what Blockbuster is. Well, that wasn't until the Captain Marvel film, and now everyone's like, what's this? Shut up, you young people. I've been renting from them from God knows how long, and I've been watching some of their live action versions of cartoons, and not really. Like, one of the biggest ones that I can think of that I watched was the Death Note that they wanted to call Death Note. There's also the Bleach one, but I haven't watched that one yet. I'm actually going to be watching that soon, and I will tell you my thoughts on that, even though I have not heard good things. But today I want to talk about two new adaptations that they are going to be coming out with. First is a sequel to that Death Note, and the second is they're going to be doing a live-action version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So let's talk about these two series and go from there. Now, the first one, Death Note 2. A sequel to their live-action Death Note. Me and a lot of other people have one main question on our mind. Why? And then comes up the second question. How? See, the first Death Note was as if someone sat down and watched it and then decided, hey, I can make this crappy. No, you know what it reminds me of? You know those memes where it says, hey, can I borrow your homework? Yeah, just make it a little different, and you see like an original, and then you see what is obviously something that copied it? That's what it felt like. Now, I'm not going to say an all-American cast was wrong, or a white guy playing Light, or a black guy playing L was wrong, or any of the casting. Because if I say that, I'd have to talk about William Dafoe, who is perfect. I don't care. Look, this is the one exciting thing for me is I loved William Dafoe as Ryuk. Just listening to his voice reminded me of the guy who did the voice for the American version in the original Death Note. And, you know, if nothing else, even if they have to scrap the whole cast, bring back William Dafoe. He did awesome. But the story and the cast has got to be better. It had issues. There's just so much I can nitpick at it, but the thing I want to know is this sequel going to be better? Which I hope, because it was bad. It was really bad. And I really hope they do better. So, here's hoping, but my hopes are not going to be that high. Now, the second part is the Netflix live-action remake of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, I am hopeful because we all tried to get a live-action movie from M. Night Shyamalan back in the early 2000s, which the trailer was perfect. It had that feeling of Last Airbender. It looked good. But when you got to the movie, it was pretty, but not very filling. It kind of reminds me of those very fancy dishes that you spend $20 for and you get a piece of steak that is itty-bitty-bitty. Pretty looking. Not fulfilling. But the good hype about this is the fact that the co-creators are coming back to do this. So Netflix is doing a live action with the original guys who did the show. That makes me hopeful because these guys made an awesome show. I'm not going to say cartoon. I'm not going to say anime. There's so many arguments, and I don't really care. It was a good show. So, with the co-creators back, that means they're going to be hands-on, and they're going to make sure this does it right. Now, yes, they obviously signed off on the movie, but if you actually read where they wrote they signed off, it almost sounds like the basic PR. You know, oh yes, we agree, and he's a great artist, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that sounds like their manager just said, yeah, just sign their name, whatever, I don't care. They're going to be doing this. Now, there's not a lot out there so far. So far, there's only been one piece of concept art, but we are all hopeful. Now, there are some suggestions I have. one. His name is Aang, not Ong. It was just a little thing first, but that really irked me. And then the bending in the show was not as good. There was that whole scene that we were going to finally get earth bending, and there was just this little bit of stuff, and then a floating rock. No. The show did it way better, and so I am hopeful that the guys behind this will now get this right. I want to see some great martial arts mixed in with the CG bending, and I want to see a very good cast. I want all the names pronounced properly, and I want it to do good. Maybe if they stretch it out into a series, they'll be able to do better. Instead of trying to compress a whole season into a 2-hour span, maybe just do an arc. Do a 10-episode, hour-long arc. I think in each season there's like 2, maybe 3 arcs. Just stick with one. You know, let's get it out there and test the waters. If Netflix does good, this will be great, because this cartoon, even today, is still considered one of the best cartoons to rival Japanese animation. So, Netflix, do good, listen to the co-creators, and don't let Shyamalan near this. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this. What do you think about it? Have you been watching the Netflix adaptations? Have you enjoyed them? Have you hated them? Let me know what you think. In fact, here's a question I have for anyone who's watching. Tell me what show, cartoon or anime, that you would want to see turned into a live action from Netflix. It could be anything. I don't even care. It could be the Smurfs for all I care, which we've seen that done in movies, and I really hope not. But let me know what you think. In fact, think of something odd that most people wouldn't think of. I want to see something interesting. Anyways, I'm the Noob. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.